Got it.
I don't.
I'm in my bedroom.
I'm sure it was me, and I have a whole family full of people, so I'm going to try to change rooms.
Okay, change rooms real quick. Just know that right now we are being taped for YouTube.
Yeah, baby.
Right now.
Right now, so don't say anything bad about Simon Miller again. Oh wait, that was me.
I know how he's bathing his kids to watch, and
That's right. How he's a latte prima donna.
I love lattes, whole milk
I
only.
did too.
That's really why I stopped eating dinner, was because it was live.
Oh really? Carl, you're so polite.
I thought it was because you needed to keep your caramel macchiato.
Turn down for what button?
I won't turn it down
ever.
That goes on the quote list, Tortor. I won't turn it down for nothing.
That's right.
Oh boy.
That's what I learned from that song. You don't turn it down for anything. Because why? All right. Poor Rafranz.
Okay, is that better?
Hey, you know what? Whenever you're ready, we're better.
I'm ready.
Okay.
But it's live anyway, so we're on.
No, it's live, so then I just go like this. So we always do this little goofiness in the beginning, and then I'll go John edit here, and then we'll actually just kick it off and go. Okay? You ready? All right, you're going to give me time to vamp a little because I haven't done a podcast for so long for 1 minute and talk about the new format, and then we'll go? And then I'll kick it over, and I'm going to kick it over and then just introduce yourself and do all that stuff. You know the drill.
You're the dad driving, we're the kids in the back.
Okay.
Let's do this, Daddy.
All right, John, edit here. Hello and welcome to Techlandia. How are you doing today? I'm John Samuelson. I'm in Portland, Oregon. We're kicking off Techlandia, and we have a special edition because look at all these people we have. We have 5 new hosts that will go on a rotating schedule. When Ted, Rose, Cece, and I started this podcast 2 years ago, we did 3 apps. We did 3 Twitter users to follow, and then we just, talked and rambled and for endless hours and hours. But now we will go at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time every Monday.
John,
we will
have it at California time.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, California time. Also, not to be confused with Canada time.
Thank you.
We will also have at least 2 of these people will be on there, or maybe 3, or whoever wants to join, because they all have busy schedules. We will not be talking about apps. We will not be talking about Twitter users to follow, only if it comes up in the normal flow of conversation, my friends. That's how we're rolling. We're just talking about stuff we like to talk about. It's just like you're having a drink with a bunch of friends. That's how we want you to look at it. Sorry, East Coast people. It's a little bit late for you, but you can stay up later. That's okay. All right. And we're also changing, on the subject of time, half hour. We're cutting back because Tim Lauer told me to. That's the only reason. All right. Okay, so I'm going to kick it over. Let's see. Who do I want to kick it to first? Look at that. It's just like so many great people down there. Carl, you were the first one in the hangout. I'm kicking it over to the Bay Area, and Karl Lindgren-Streicher, go ahead and introduce yourself.
You just introduced me. What else do I have to say?
Oh, I'm sorry. Kicking it over to the other person in the Bay Area then.
Hey guys, I'm Amy Fadeji, and I live in Marin County. I'm an elementary principal in Sonoma County in Petaluma.
That's very nice. Oh, wait, Amy.
Yo.
Sound good. All right.
I feel like you gypped Carl. Come on.
Okay, Carl, go ahead and tell us what you do and about yourself.
I teach 9th and 10th grade world history in the Bay Area of California.
That's right. Where did you just come back from, Carl?
The Canadas.
The Canadas. And are they on the same time zone? Have we confirmed this? As Pacific California time?
Portions of the Canadas are on the California time.
It just depends on what province.
Correct.
Okay, very good. We're going to kick it down to SoCal, and we have David T. EDU. Go ahead and introduce yourself, besides I just introduced you.
Hi, everyone. David Theriault, high school English teacher. This year I'm teaching 10th and 11th grade, and I'm really happy to be here, and I love learning from other people, and I just wanted to let you all know that
that's right.
Jonathan Bandwagon Cubs fan. I noticed now he's sporting the hat. I didn't see the hat last year in Techlandia. Yeah.
I will also make a prediction. I've already predicted that the Cubs and Sox will face each other in this year's World Series.
That's not a bad prediction. I put some
Okay.
money on that in Vegas.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm going to go kick it to the Central Time Zone now. And with us now we have my Texas partner in crime, and her name is...
Oh, good. You didn't introduce me. Rafranz Davis. I'm impressed. There are only two people I'm going to learn how to do that. Technology specialist, K-12, and that's pretty much it. That's all I do.
That's all you do. You are so modest. All right. Well, thanks. See, I'm learning how to do it, and I knew that the next time I saw you in person, you'd smack me if I introduced you.
Just a
Now
little
we
bit.
kick it over to the only person that is not in this country right now. We kick it up north of the border. I went like clockwise with it. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Victoria Olson. I am a grade 3-4 and technology teacher at an elementary school in Langley, British Columbia. So I'm about half hour from the border though, so I'm close.
It is. You are very close. You might be too close, actually. We might have to send some people up there. Keep an eye on you guys.
If I get displaced, I know why. I'm too
That's right.
too
All right,
geographically close.
Well, thanks for everybody for being here. So we're just kind of doing this is like our introductory show. Is that what we're calling it? The introductory show?
I love it.
I
Sure.
like to call it. It's like you're going to an open house. This is like your meet and greet right here. Meet and greet the Techlandia posts that you can see on Mondays at 7 p.m. Pacific time. All right, so.
John, before you keep going, we have a very important question from our audience at the moment.
Oh, okay.
And Wesley Fryer would like to know why you changed your Twitter handle. And I think we all really want to know.
Really? That's so interesting. Well, I have a new job where I am the innovation strategist. I don't know what that means. For the Beaverton School District, and we are deploying some Chromebooks and iPads and things like that. And the device management for the iPads drives me so insane that I want to jump off one of the bridges of Portland. And I also thought that people were kind of pigeonholing me as just an iPad person, and I like the Googles and I like the Chromebooks and I like everything in educational technology. So here's a true fact for Wes. I lost 1,600 followers after I changed my name. That's a true story.
Is that real?
That's probably just bots that just follow people that have an iPad in their title or something. I don't know, but that is a true story. So I just changed it because I wanted to be myself. Could be a good thing, could be a bad thing.
Now I'm searching you to see how many followers you have.
That's right. And I feel like when you said you like the Googles, that was my chance to show off my favorite sweatshirt. What?
Ooh, that's so cool. I like that sweatshirt. Does Simon Miller have one of those sweatshirts?
Probably. Simon has every Android shirt that's ever been invented.
And an Android snowman outside. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
It was amazing.
And the Android ski helmet and...
And he had a latte with an Android on it, I'm sure.
Yeah, he spends way too much money in that Google store. That's way too much money. That's insane. I love Google, but I'm not gonna spend $100 a month like Simon does.
I like how this, like half of this hangout so far has been dedicated to ripping on Simon.
That's just because we know he can take it. He knows we're kidding too. All right, so go ahead. And now let's go ahead and let's go with one of our actual topics. One of my first topics is Google. Why did you take Google Drive out of the Hangouts? Now I have to look down at my notes right here. But my second one, boo, I know. Get that back, Googles. Now, the first one that we were going to talk about is we were just going to talk a little bit about, so it's Martin Luther King Day. Rafranz, did you get, all right, so this was always one of the things that troubled me the most in living in Texas. Did you actually get the day off, or did you have to go to in-service days today?
I got the day off, and I'm going to be honest, had I not gotten the day off, I would have taken off anyway. So I don't care where I am. This is a day that we actually do community service projects. For me, my community service was actually prom dress shopping. No lie, I was supposed to actually feed physical people, but instead I ended up in whatchamacallit buying a prom dress. But at the same time, we did make it back for the speaking contest, and our community does a really good job of involving all of our kids and our parents, and really making this day about something more than just being off from school. And I think that's really important to do.
I think it's important too. I think the first day that I taught in Texas, I really couldn't believe that the teachers had to go to school. I was kind of offended, to tell you the truth, and I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, but I just thought it was interesting that it seemed like it was kind of like a fake. Like I feel like you should get the day off. This should be the day that we honor. And I will tell you that one of the projects that we're working on in my school district right now, and this is my little I don't know what you want to call it, my little win for the week or whatever, but we had a teacher that went through and did his own podcast, and he's doing a 2-part podcast and having his students do the an MLK podcast. The first one he did was he released one about the life of Martin Luther King, and then the second one I think he's going to go into just some of what some of the kids are writing this next week. But it was really cool because I showed him how to do a podcast last week, and he did it completely on his own this week. So I thought that was interesting. And all I did was steal the stuff for him so that he could actually have the technology in his room to do it. I was very proud of myself for one time.
Hey, John and Rafranz, can you guys clarify? So, have students always been off on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and it was a teacher work day, or how does that work?
That's how it worked for me in my old school district. It sounds like Rafranz got the day off, which is nice and a step in the right direction. But I really couldn't believe we always worked on Martin Luther King Day, and we just did staff development days. So I thought that, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and it used to be that our kids didn't get off either, and I think that they finally caved when all of the mostly the black kids in town would actually take off because we planned events before it became a day of service.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you saw this, Karl Lindgren-Streicher, but there was a football game yesterday going on.
The Patriots won.
It was, and I saw something that was kind of interesting that I just saw through just the Twitters and things like that, but I saw that the Seattle Seahawks put up something where they put a picture of Russell Wilson, and they tweeted something out, and they said, "We shall overcome," and it was just like a little quote with Russell Wilson, and then they were forced to take it down as people kind of angrily went, "You're comparing the win yesterday to what the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.?" They thought it was, and so they took it down real quick. But I thought that was a little interesting. I don't know. There's just things you see. I love Reddit for that. Do you guys ever go on Reddit at all?
Mm-mm.
No? I love Reddit.
Students who love it.
What is it?
How would you describe it besides the front page of the internet, Karl?
Yeah, it's that. I mean, it's a place where
cool.
people go to talk about things, and I think there's some pretty deep conversations that dig into what's going on very superficial levels, but I think also on some pretty deep levels as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so what you can do is they have all these little groups that you can put in. So there's basically just a news feed that comes in, and they have a whole bunch of education sections. They have an education section, an ed tech section, and it kind of jumbles them all together. So there's interesting things that you can read about. And so in the middle of your, you're getting your news about the turn down for what button, or what Kardashian is doing what. In the middle of that, you can also get some cool teaching discussions where they ask, like, I'm a second-year teacher, I don't know what to do here, how do I get my alternative certification, I'm trying to do this. It's really interesting that people will post real questions there, and I don't know, I like Reddit. It's fun for stuff like that. It's cool. Anybody have any other cool stuff for Martin Luther King Day? Anybody doing any projects? Anybody doing anything?
Hey, can I give a suggestion?
You sure can.
Really quick, and I'm going to say this as a frustrated parent when it comes to not only Martin Luther King Day but Black History Month. Talk to your kids, engage them, see what your community is doing, and actually get involved. And don't just pull out the coloring book from whatever textbook to color. Like, make it about something, and make it about more than just, we are more than Martin Luther King. But I don't mean to say it in that way, but I mean, especially when you segue into Black History Month, there's so much to learn and to talk about culture, not just from your black students or the history with the civil rights movement and, of course, all of the insanity of this country that has happened in, years. But there's so many current heroes that are out there, and so just really engage your kids and talk to them as you plan what those events will be, because I think that's important.
I was going to just say real quick that today I sent a tweet to Congressman John Lewis. We'll see if we hear back from him, but he's from Atlanta. And so just to see if he would be willing during Black History Month to Skype with any of our students or do a Google Hangout, that would be pretty awesome. So we'll see, and I'm going to reach out to some people and his crew as well. But he had some pretty neat tweets and pictures coming out today, and so that really inspired me and thought it would be really neat if we could get some kids plugged in with him. So crossing my fingers.
That'd be cool if it happened. You know what you need? You need Scott Bedley in on that. Scott Bedley is the king of mystery Skype or just getting people on Skype. He's like the Skype man. Reach out to him. Okay. So speaking of Scott Bedley, let's go kick it to David Theriault. David Theriault, let's talk some Ed Camps. Tell me about Ed Camp LA. Oh, David Theriault's muted. David, are you there?
Oh, so super sad.
Oh, David Theriault, we just lost you?
He's been getting kicked in and out.
Oh, David Theriault does not need to be kicked around. Google, quit kicking around David Theriault. He's one of your biggest advocates.
Restart.
Is
Why
he
don't
there?
you just start with SFA?
Okay, Karl, tell us. Oh wait, Amy, you were there too, right?
Yeah, but Karl is one of the organizers, so
He organizes every Ed Camp in the Bay
I
Area.
know.
Okay, Karl,
I just have to show up.
tell us about SF San Francisco Express Ed Camp from the other night and why it's different, because it sounded really cool when you were talking about it.
So there's a pretty vibrant Voxer group of Ed Camp organizers from all over the U.S., and we've just kind of kicked around a lot of ideas, but as we've kind of talked about different formats and things like that, it occurred to me that the thing that's hard about Ed Camp, like it's really easy to make a session board. It's really easy to tell people what room the sessions are in, but it's all the other stuff. It's the swag, it's the sponsors, it's the who's getting coffee, and all of those other things are what make an Ed Camp difficult. So what if you just had an Ed Camp that was only a couple sessions long with no sponsors, and you just show up and you have conversation, and everybody leaves and goes home and goes to lunch or goes to dinner. And so we're going to do a couple Express Ed Camps through the Ed Camp SFA crew this year or this semester, and we just did one Thursday night. The one-way texting folks that I use and like, and Remind is an awesome Ed Camp supporter. Mm-hmm. They know how to support Ed Camps right. But they hosted it, and they even were nice enough to bring in a really nice spread of food.
Amazing spread of food.
Sushi, which was crazy. And so there were two 45-minute sessions. I think there were probably 30 people there for the first session, maybe 20 people there for the second session. And yeah, it was, minimal time to organize it, and all of the conversations that you love about an Ed Camp happened. I left feeling as energized on a Thursday night as I would have after a full day on Saturday. So it was really, really neat, and from my end as an organizer, really, really simple.
That's cool. Now, Kristen was there too. Was Kristen Swanson there?
Kristen Swanson was one of the organizers. She prefers to be called the. No, I'm just kidding.
She wants to be called the Kristen Swanson?
No, Kristen Swanson.
I will call her that if she wants me to. I will call Kristen Swanson whatever she wants to.
Yeah, a couple. Kristen, Bill Selleck, and Clara Gallen and Rachel Niederman, who both work at Remind, helped to organize.
That's cool. That's really
cool. I was
cool.
going to say too, Karl, I came off just like a couple intensive days of a lot of deep thinking. I had the chance to go to the Apple headquarters for an executive briefing the 2 days prior. And so I was a little out of my element, and so coming to just the Remind headquarters and doing Ed Camp, I felt like it was a great way. It centered me back before I hit school the next day with my kiddos and my staff, and we had a conversation that was about family communication, and communication is something that I'm always thinking about as a site leader, but there were these two high school teachers in there that just kind of blew my mind with their comments and thoughts on family communication. And, they were saying that they don't even send mass emails to their parents because the parents where they teach don't even have email. And that's a different world than where I am every day. And so just having that perspective check, that's one of the things I love the most about an Ed Camp is getting people from so many different areas and schools and just kind of being able to pull back and step out of what you live and breathe every day. That was awesome for me.
That's right. I think that that's a good point. Let's see. Now, I heard a rumor that David Theriault's blogging session was just like
blogging sucks. Is that what you said?
what did I say? I heard his
Google blogging sucked.
His blogging. Yeah, I heard his blogging stuff was like, all right. Let's see if David Theriault. But I heard his Google Hangout session was not as well attended, and now I can see why because he could get in.
It figures
Actually, Kurt Reese wants to know what's the deal with David Theriault.
I know what is going on with David Theriault. Now we can just ask him to his face. Oh man! All right, David.
Wait,
so
are you the only one seeing the Kurt Reese questions, Victoria? Or is he sending these to you personally? Where are you seeing?
No. You gotta open the Q&A on the left side of your Hangout.
Oh no, that's too much work.
Oh,
I'll just let you guys handle that.
Look at this. We're all learning together about all these cool new features. Bring back Google Drive, though. Come on, Google Hangouts. Bring back Google Drive. What are you doing?
Right.
That's my favorite feature of Hangouts. I hate that it's gone.
It's so bad. Okay, so David Theriault, I heard you were the hit. That's what Scott Bedley told me, and I believe whatever Scott Bedley tells me, even that he was Teacher of the Year one time, which I do have a hard time believing, but go ahead and tell us a little bit about EdCamp LA.
All right, first of all, can you hear me?
Of course we can.
Okay, I'm just checking because you guys are all frozen again. It figures I use this computer for EdCamp Home and Hangouts all the time, and my first Techlandia, it's killing me. It's killing me, Smalls. EdCamp LA was awesome. I actually did the blogging session with Linda Yolis. That was my secret plan, was to get Linda in the session, so then no matter what I did, everybody would love the session. And so I just made sure I let Linda do her thing, and I talked a little bit, and I don't know. It's just it's a great subject, and having kids write online blogging, it's pretty amazing. I don't even want to get into it because I'll talk about it for like an hour.
Well, yeah, tell us what what were your main points? So because is Linda elementary? Is she elementary or middle school? Okay, so I thought it was cool that you had elementary and high school combined and kind of just went so that you could cover all of K through 12 basically. So what were some of the big discussion points? Were people having a hard time getting on to, were they having a hard time getting started with blogging? What platform to use? What were the main questions? I think for a lot of people, they don't, it just seems overwhelming to them. Like, people can barely keep up with their own blog, let alone all of their students, and then you pop it into high school and you have 180 kids or 185 or whatever, and it just seems kind of overwhelming. Linda's 365 blog, which you've never seen it before, is amazing. She just kind of shows you that you just need to post up one thing a day, and she has kids email them into her. She uses all the emails become blog drafts, and then she just approves one per day and talks about it, and it's really cool. So, I just for me, anytime the kids can write to anybody but me, the writing's better. And so I just love that they're writing out to the world and exploring. And I have kids who continue blogging after class is over, and all of my kids who are in college right now tell me they're all blogging in college. So I know I'm doing the right thing. Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad thing to blog. I mean, I wish I could get going more.
Hey, can I say something about that? I'm going to piggyback on David Theriault.
Uh-oh, piggyback time.
I got the strength.
So one of David and I's mutual friends, Joanne Fox, started a weekly blogging challenge called Your Edu Story. That's the hashtag on Twitter. And I've struggled to blog consistently. Sometimes I'll post, 10 posts in a month, and other months I'll post one. But I've really enjoyed. This is only the third or fourth week, but I've written the first two, and I wrote my week 3 post today. So I've really enjoyed having just a topic that everybody's writing about for the week. It's motivated me to think about stuff that I wouldn't have thought about. I think this week is, how are you alike and unlike your favorite teachers from school? And so it was interesting to go and think back to high school and grad school and college, to teachers that had an impact on me and what their styles were. So check out Your Edu Story. For me, at least, it's been a nice kick in the rear end to blog at least once a week.
Yes.
Okay.
And for some of us, it's been a revival.
Ooh, I like that.
I'm in need of a revival.
I get made fun of often for not blogging. So
Yeah, I'm sort of in that space again. As much as I used to blog, it's, when you get really busy, it's just kind of hard to do, and I don't apologize for it. It's okay. When I have something to say, I'll say it.
I want to go. Did you see Joanne Fox's sketch notes from Ed Camp LA? Those were pretty cool. Did anybody happen to see those on the Twitters? You didn't see those? I'll post that. It's cool.
I sat next to Joanne at Q last year at something, and I felt so awkward. I was like staring at her lap the whole time because she had her iPad next to her, and she was making this amazing sketch. And I was like, Joanne, I promise I'm not being creepy, but I'm gonna keep watching you do that.
No, it is. I sat behind her at the Q conference last year, and then she was using paper 53, and she was sketching out some stuff from what I forget. It was one on iPhoneography. That's the one it was. That was good.
Victoria
I think Victoria were in that one.
She did some cool sketch notes this weekend as well.
I did. I sketch noted. That leads us into the next topic, the TEDx event in Langley.
Yeah, go ahead.
We were there, and Karl actually spoke at it, so maybe Karl wants to kind of start off with his experience, but maybe I'll talk about mine first. The audience perspective was pretty awesome. It was a really good lineup of speakers, very diverse, very different, but all kind of threading into that education world one way or another. So it was pretty neat to experience one of those events and see students all the way from age 10 perform and speak, all the way up to different people that you kind of might have met and heard of on the Twitter sphere from British Columbia and beyond. So, Karl, do you want to talk about your experience as a speaker? And
yes,
how that went for you?
Speech, Karl. Give us a speech about your speech.
Meta.
Yeah, go meta.
I had never spoken on a stage before, so it was a very different thing for me. But it was also one of those things I've found that when you get tossed something that asks you to look into the core of your profession and what you do and what you believe, it's always a good experience. It's ISF and coming up at IPDX, I did running a student-centered history class, 2-hour kind of hands-on. Let's figure out how to do this session, and that's the thing that I do. And so I think anytime you get asked to do something like that or give a TEDx talk, you have to think what are the things that I believe in? And so for me, that reflection was really valuable. And it was a neat experience to, as late as Wednesday, thinking there's no way I can ever do this, to being able to stand up on stage and actually say something coherent, I think.
That's cool. Are there going to be a recording of it? Are we going to be able to see it soon, or is it up already?
It's not up already. I guess so. Anytime there's a TED or TEDx event, all of the video, like there's 5 cameras and the audio and all that stuff gets sent to TED, and they piece together the talks and then give them back to you, and then you can put them up. So TED kind of does the quality control on it. So I guess maybe end of February or so.
Wow, they're really OCD, huh?
I guess so.
Who is Ted? Who is Ted
Oh.
anyway? What is this Who is this mastermind?
He's the brother of Rose and Cece.
Okay, there. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. What were we gonna say, Amy? I'm sorry I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, that's good. I was actually wondering that same thing earlier today, although okay. Moving on. I was just gonna say that I think, Karl, what's so cool about that is, I consider you a friend and feel like I have a good grasp on what you do at school and what you believe in, but I felt like so much that I was missing out on. I don't know how long your talk was. How long was it?
14 minutes or so, I believe.
Okay.
Ooh, good
so I was
time
thinking
frame.
in my head, like, to have you put everything that you believe in passionately in like 20 minutes, like that just must be so amazing and really powerful for any educator really to do, So anyway, I know that Katina and I and lots of our other friends in the Bay were following minute by minute, so I can't wait to see it posted. But I think that's a great point that you say about how it can help you grow with just rolling all your thoughts and beliefs into that one experience, which I'm sure there's no way you can capture all of that, but
but you tried.
I think he did a pretty good job. Like out of the whole day.
Like it.
Oh wow, it was an amazing talk, and honestly, like I never heard it beforehand, but was lucky enough to be one of the people to help draft the actual talk. And so you kind of go in. I knew kind of the content and that, but it was the most direct at the audience that was present. Yes, like on Saturday, so it was really well done.
Who was the audience mostly?
It was pretty much mostly Langley folks, so people from our specific district, but there were people from surrounding districts as well, a couple teachers and administrators and trustees and things from a couple other districts. So it was a good enough spread, but I would say concentrated in our district.
My mom came.
That's awesome. That's so cool. Well, you must have.
No, go ahead. I was going to say just a bunch of Canadians.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I mean,
there were so many. Yeah, so many tweets on the event, so there must have been a pretty solid crowd there.
Oh yeah, the Canadians are no joke on the Twitters. They don't mess around. I know.
That's right.
I'm looking for Karl Lindgren-Streicher to have 2 million views on his video. He will be the next Sir Ken Robinson.
Not happening, my friend. Not happening.
That'll be cool. That's cool though. That's good, Karl. You know what? I'm just like your mom. I am proud of you.
Aw, thanks, John.
Yay!
I'm gonna shed a tear almost right now, but I won't.
You could use the applause sound could go though. That would also work. Just saying.
You guys can feel free to use any sound effects. You know that, right?
Oh.
You know that you can use the sound effects. All right. So it looks like David Theriault has dropped off, or he has gone back to Ed Camp LA to go get his notes from his so we just want to thank everybody. This has been the most viewers I've seen on a Techlandia for a while, and I have written down in my little notes like little things that we will do to get the audio and stuff better. We're just out of practice right now, and I want to thank you. We'll be here at 7 o'clock Pacific time every Monday, and one of these lovely people or two of these lovely people will be out with myself, and we will start having guests. I have put a feeler out to my man Tim Lauer to be the first guest.
Woo-hoo.
So we'll see next week if Tim Lauer can make it, and we'll try and get it out. But thanks everybody for being here, and this will be our only. Well, we can do a large Techlandia with all the hosts whenever we want, right? We could do that whenever, but probably not because our schedules will be all messed up.
But we do what we want.
That's right, but we can do whatever we want. Remember, that's the first rule of Techlandia. We do whatever we want, though. So if we want to podcast on a Friday night, we might just throw down. So you be ready, everyone. Just
and we don't turn it down for nothing.
That's right. We don't turn it down for nobody. We're like
that was your
John.
cue for the song, John.
I know, and I don't even have my phone with me.
Dang
all right,
it.
well, thank you guys for being here. Rafranz, I'm going to go to you. Rafranz, do you have any last words? And she's got her microphone muted still.
Sorry, I was
okay.
listening and kind of in my own time zone at this point. Yeah, I'm just being real. I have no last words. It was great. It was fun. I look forward to the next few weeks and actually talking about things. So looking forward to it.
That's
you
good.
have a few sequins and glitter from prom shopping in your hair.
I'm so just over it at this point. It's not even until the end of freaking April.
Oh.
But you have to do it so that the girls can post to social media what their dress is and nobody buys it. But
all
it
for
is
the
what
girls.
it is. Yep.
Right.
Maybe we can do a Say Yes to the Dress episode.
I love
Hosted by the boys. It makes sense.
That's right. That's right. Fadeji's on that one, though, too, though. I can
Yeah,
tell she
I'm
likes
all
that
over
idea. All right. Thanks, everybody, for being here, and we will catch you on the flip side.